The envelope was thin, just one page, an invoice from my parents, made out to me, $2,947.83. The line items? Food overages during residency, 2016 to 2018. Utilities, college breaks, car insurance while vehicle registered to household address. And my personal favorite, administrative reconciliation fee. I got that invoice on a Tuesday. That same week, my brother posted his brand new Tesla on Instagram. Bright red, huge white bow on the hood. Mom and Dad standing next to him, arms around his shoulders, beaming like he'd just won the Nobel Prize. One child gets a $60,000 car. The other gets billed for breathing. Ever wonder what your childhood was worth? Mine came to exactly $2,947.83. But here's the thing. I had the receipts. All of them. So drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it? It's 2 a.m. here and I can't sleep. And if you've ever been the spare instead of the heir, hit that like button. You'll want to stick around for this. Let me take you back to when I should have seen this coming. My brother and I grew up in the same house. But we didn't grow up in the same family. When he graduated high school, they threw him a party. 200 people. Rented tent. Catered barbecue. Open bar. When I graduated, top of my class by the way, we ordered pizza. 2 friends showed up. He got 4 years of college tuition, paid in full. I got 3 jobs and night school. He got his first DUI covered up, and his second. I got a single text when I made the dean's list. Congrats. I'm not saying this for pity, I'm saying it so you understand. I knew the score early, and I kept track of everything. See, my dad always said family keeps score, even if they don't say it out loud. So I did him one better. I wrote it down. Every rent check I gave them when I turned 16 and they said I needed to contribute. Every Venmo for groceries when I stayed over during college. Every birthday card with cash inside. Every payment on every bill. I'm on a CPA track. I keep spreadsheets the way some people keep journals. I moved out at 19, kept contact surface level, holiday group texts, the occasional dinner. We hadn't been close in over 2 years. And honestly, I was fine with that. Then the PDF arrived. No subject line, just an attachment. I opened it, and my blood went cold. The invoice was professional, formatted like a real bill. $850 for food overages, 2016 to 2018. $1,200. For utilities during college breaks when you stayed here. $600 for car insurance while your vehicle was registered to our household address. And $297.83 for, I kid you not, administrative reconciliation fee. At the bottom, payment options. Lump sum or installment plan. Due date, the 15th. 2 weeks away. 10 minutes later, a text from my mom. Your brother needed help with his down payment. We're just balancing things out. Family is supposed to be fair. I called her, immediately. We gave you a roof, sweetie. We're not asking. We're reconciling. My dad's voice in the background sharp and bitter. She always thought she was too good for us. I tried to explain. I tried to stay calm. My mom cut me off. We have a payment portal set up. You can use a credit card if you need to, but we need this handled by the 15th. After that, we'll need to explore other remedies. I texted my brother. No reply, but he was online, posting Tesla videos, showing off the keyless entry, radio silence from the golden child. I hung up, stared at the invoice, and then my mom sent one more text. We have documentation, sweetie. Do you? That was her mistake. I wanted to be rational. I wrote an email, polite, measured. I attached one receipt, just one, showing I'd paid my own car insurance that year. 3 days later, I got a certified letter from a lawyer. Well, lawyer is generous. It was my dad's golfing buddy, solo practice, strip mall office, but the letterhead was real, and the language was real. Unjust enrichment. Failure to compensate. The small claims filing imminent. They were serious, and it got worse. My aunt posted in the family group chat something vague about parents who sacrifice everything and children who forget. I felt the walls closing in. My partner sat me down that night. Just pay it. It's $3,000. You'll never hear from them again. I wanted to believe that. I really did. I opened the payment portal, entered my card number, hovered over the button, and then I stopped. I opened my laptop, went to my cloud drive, opened the folder I'd made 6 years ago, the one I'd named Just in Case, and I started reading, line by line, receipt by receipt, payment by payment. I thought I'd lost. I hadn't. I'd been preparing for this for 6 years. The first file I opened was a spreadsheet. Household contribution log, 2016 to 2018. Every month, from the time I turned 16 until I moved out, I paid my parents $400 in rent. $400 every single month. They called it a contribution. I called it what it was. Rent. 24 months. $400 each. $9,600. I had every receipt, every bank transfer, every memo line that said, "Household, thanks, Mom." Not $1 of that appeared on their invoice. But wait, there's more. I pulled up my Venmo history. Payments to my mom for groceries during college breaks. Payments to my dad for my share of the utilities when I house sat while they went on vacation. Payments for the car insurance they were now claiming I never covered. I made a side-by-side comparison. Their invoice. My records. They said I owed them $2,947. I had proof I'd already given them over $12,000. They didn't want fairness. They wanted me to forget. But I don't forget. And that was just the money I gave them. Wait until you see what they owed me. I sent my mom an email. Calm, professional. I attached one page from my log. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Let's talk. She didn't talk. She detonated. My dad called me within an hour. Screaming. Actually screaming. "You think you're smarter than us? We made you. We fed you. We kept a roof over your head. And I paid rent, Dad. That wasn't rent. That was respect." He hung up on me. 20 minutes later, my mom sent a mass email to the entire family. Subject line, "When children abandon gratitude." She didn't name me. She didn't have to. My phone started buzzing. Aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. My grandmother called me, crying. "What did you do?" "Your mother is devastated." I hadn't done anything. But I was already guilty. The lawyer sent a second letter. This one had a court date. 18 days out. And my parents went public. Vague Facebook posts about sacrifice and betrayal. About giving everything and getting nothing back. My brother finally texted, "Just pay them. You're embarrassing everyone." I stared at that message for a long time. And then I realized something. I wasn't going to argue anymore. I was going to show them. They wanted a paper trail. I'd give them one. I went deeper into my files, and I found it. The nuclear option. A loan agreement. $12,000. Taken out when I was 17. Co-signed by me. Or so the paperwork said. But I didn't sign it. My parents did. As my legal guardians, they signed my name. The loan was supposed to be for educational expenses. It wasn't. They used it to buy my brother his first car. A used pickup truck. $12,000 cash deal. I found out about the loan when I was 22. I ran a credit check before applying for an apartment. And there it was, in my name. Wrecking my score. I never said a word to them. I just started paying it off. $290 a month. For 48 months. Principal plus interest, $13,940. I paid every cent from my account. My money, my credit report. They never mentioned it. Not once. My brother never knew. He thought Mom and Dad bought him that truck outright. I had the loan documents, the payment history, the bank statements, all of it. They didn't just forget to say thank you. They forgot they stole from me. Now I knew exactly how deep the betrayal ran, and it wasn't mine. I needed to understand why. Why now? Why this invoice? Why the lawyer and the guilt and the public shaming? So I looked closer at my brother's Instagram. The Tesla wasn't a gift. It was a lease. He'd posted a screenshot by accident. One of those sign here digital signature screens. And right there in the corner of the image, tiny but visible, was the monthly payment. $1,100 per month? I cross-referenced the lease details. My parents co-signed. They didn't help with a down payment. They helped with first month, last month, security deposit, and fees. Then committed to a 3-year lease at $1,100 a month. For a car my brother couldn't afford. I did more digging. Public records. Social media. A little family gossip from a cousin who still talked to me. My dad took early retirement last year. Not by choice. Downsizing. My mom's small business, an online boutique she'd run for a decade, closed 6 months ago. They were overextended. The golden child was bleeding them dry, and they couldn't admit it. So they turned to me, the responsible one, the one who always paid her bills. The invoice wasn't about fairness. It was about cash flow. I wasn't their daughter in that moment. I was a revenue stream, and now I knew exactly what to do. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted them to stop. So I called a real lawyer, not a strip mall buddy. A family law attorney with an actual practice. I walked her through everything. The invoice, the rent payments, the loan, the lease, the threats. She listened, took notes. Then she leaned back in her chair. You don't need to win. You just need them to stop. And this will do that. She drafted a response. Clean, professional, no emotion. A counterclaim with attached evidence. $23,540 paid or contributed by me over 6 years versus $2,947 claimed by them. A demand. Withdraw the invoice and all public statements immediately or face a formal dispute and a potential fraud report to the lender on that loan. I wasn't threatening to destroy them. I was just showing them the cost of pushing me further. The lawyer sent it certified mail. Copy to their attorney. And I did one more thing. I wrote my brother a letter. Not angry. Just honest. I laid out the numbers. The payments, the loan, the Tesla they couldn't afford. Last line. I hope the car is worth it. I mailed it on a Thursday. By Saturday, my phone was ringing off the hook. My parents' lawyer got the filing Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, he'd called them and told them to drop it. No billable hours in a losing case, but my parents didn't quit. They pivoted. Sunday dinner. Family meeting. My grandmother was there. 2 aunts. My brother, I almost didn't go. But I wanted to finish this face to face. I walked in with a binder. They had a casserole on the table. Like this was normal. My dad started the script. We asked you here because we need to clear the air. We're a family. Families work things out. I set the binder on the table. Let's reconcile then. I opened it. Turned it around so everyone could see. First page, rent log. 2016 to 2018. $400 a month. 24 months. $9,600. Every receipt. You billed me for utilities and food. I paid rent for 2 years. You didn't mention that. My mom's face went pale. Next page, Venmo log. Payments for groceries. Payments for insurance. Payments for everything they were now claiming I never covered. My grandmother leaned in reading. Then I turned to the loan. This is a $12,000 loan. Taken out in my name when I was 17. You co-signed as my guardians. You told the bank it was for my education. I slid the next page across. A photo of my brother's old truck. You bought him a truck. I found out when I was 22, and I paid it off. $13,940. Every payment came from my account. Not yours. Silence. My grandmother looked at my dad. You told us she was ungrateful. She was your creditor. My dad tried to deflect. We did our best. We gave you everything we had. I looked him in the eye. Your best included forging my signature and ruining my credit. I'm done pretending that's love. My brother stood up, walked out, didn't say a word, just the sound of his car door slamming outside. I closed the binder. I'll be civil at holidays if you drop this. Otherwise, we're strangers who share DNA. I left the binder on the table. And I walked out. 40 hours later, my lawyer sent me an email. Invoice withdrawn. Case closed. My parents never apologized. They never called, never texted. Just silence. Holidays became terse, 2-line messages in the group chat. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Nothing more. And honestly, I was okay with that. 6 months later, my brother returned the Tesla. Couldn't make the payments. My parents couldn't either. They downsized. Sold the house. Moved into a small condo across town. I didn't gloat. I didn't post receipts online. I didn't blow up their world. I just stopped playing the game. The extended family eventually learned the truth. Some of them apologized. An aunt sent me a long text. A cousin called to say she'd always suspected I got a raw deal. Others ghosted me, unfriended me, picked their side. You lose some people when you stop shrinking. That's the cost of boundaries. But here's what I gained. I used the energy I'd been spending on them and put it somewhere better. I started a small financial literacy workshop for young adults from complicated families, people who didn't grow up learning about credit or loans or how to spot financial manipulation. 12 people showed up to the first session, then 20, then 40. I called it Money and Boundaries, because you can't have one without the other. I went to therapy, worked through a lot. Grief mostly? I had to grieve the parents I wanted, not the ones I had. That's when I finally got free. Last Thanksgiving, I stayed home. By choice, ordered takeout. Watched movies. Felt peace for the first time in years. Then I went to Friendsgiving the next day. With people I chose. People who chose me back. No invoices. No scorecards. No strings. I didn't win my family back. I won myself. And that's the only receipt that matters. Here's the lesson I learned the hard way. You don't owe anyone your peace as payment for their pride. Not even your parents. Boundaries aren't betrayal. Silence isn't cruelty. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop keeping score and just walk away. I'm not telling you to cut off your family. I'm telling you that you're allowed to, if that's what it takes to breathe. So here's my question for you. What would you have done? Paid the invoice to keep the peace? Or pulled the receipts? Have you ever been billed for love you already paid for? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story helped you see your own situation a little more clearly, hit that subscribe button. I post every week. Your story might be next. You're not crazy. You're not cruel. You're not ungrateful. You're just done. And that's allowed. This has been a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice. But the lesson is real. Protect your peace. Keep your receipts. And know your worth. Thanks for watching.